Good morning, everyone. My name is Lewis Harris. I am one of the assistant fire chiefs here with Tucson Fire. I'll be your master of ceremonies today. Thank you all for coming. Welcome to Fire Station 8's grand opening at this new location. Quick reminder, for those of you that were here when we did Station 9, it's kind of the same thing. This is a working fire station. They are in service. So if they happen to get a call, I don't have any miming or any magic tricks thank you, Mayor, set up, so we'll just have to stare at each other awkwardly for a little bit until it passes. Station 8 is crew of a proud track record of being one of the busiest stations not only in the city, but in the nation. Today, the new Fire Station 8 stands as one of the most modern firefighting facilities in our entire community, with room to expand and cutting-edge technology. It is the second new TFD station built with voter-approved Tucson Delivers sales tax funds, and it's not, surprisingly, I just learned this today. Fire Station 8's old home at 250 West King, which we came from, built in 1968, that was also funded by voter-approved bonds. It's wonderful to come together today to celebrate Fire Station 8 and to offer thanks to our voters, the fire station build team, the project team, commission members, the neighborhood, city staff, and our elected officials. I'm going to run through this very quickly, recognize our dignitaries, and I apologize, I'm sure we will miss some. We tried to get everybody. Obviously our neighbors and our businesses. This is just the folks that are not speaking today. City Manager, Mr. Mike Ortega, thank you, sir. Our Ward 3, Kevin Dahl, is here today. There he is, thank you, sir. City staff, our public safety partners, thank you very much. Our PSTOT members that are here, delivery, our public, our core and Perlman teams that are here, thank you very much. Amazing folks that have allowed us to use their parking facilities. We appreciate you. Our cadets, we have a few cadets here that are helping with parking. Thank you very much. Our delivery program manager, Terry Gillen, Jeffrey Whiting, Rebecca Lepora, thank you very much. If I missed anybody, I see we have some folks from Northwest as well, some dignitaries there. Thank you, gentlemen, for showing up. Representatives from the Flowing Wells Educational Foundation, superintendent, and governing board members. Any other elected officials that I may have missed, thank you all for being here today. I wasn't going to tell this story, but I was encouraged to do so. So I'll keep it brief, as my boss likes to say. I'll keep it sincere, I'll keep it brief, and then I'll be seated. There it is. Right on cue. Right on cue. First of many today. When we go through our recruit academy, we get assigned, right towards the end, we get assigned to a station, and when we do so, we get to go out and do a quick station visit. My station assignment was, of course, Station 8. Again, this is way back when, over at 250 West King. When I first arrived for my station visit, I'm in civilian clothes, of course. As soon as I ring the doorbell, the tones go off, of course, busiest station in the state. They open the door, Lou, get on the truck. We'll do introductions later. I get on the truck, we go, it ends up being a code arrest. Ends up being a heroin overdose code arrest. It has left such an indelible mark with me, the speed and efficiency and grace with which that group of firefighters and medics worked that call, and the way they incorporated me into working that call, doing CPR my very first day. It was amazing, and it is one of the most lasting memories that I have in the fire service. We did end up saving that gentleman that day. So that was the good part of the story. But I did have to tell that story because there's a lot of firsts here for me here. I delivered my first baby out of Station 8, my first call as a captain, my first fire. Just again, it's near and dear to my heart. On to more interesting speakers. It's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, the Honorable Mayor Regina Romero. Ma'am.
With that story, I don't think I'm more interesting. Bienvenidos, muy buenos días, good morning, and welcome to the House of Love. It really is about the love that our firefighters and medics do this work. It really is about the love of serving our community, and so it's an appropriate name for the busiest station in Arizona. And I'm so proud that I have presided over the opportunity to give voters the chance to tell them how we should invest their sales tax dollars. And so I'm really happy to be here today. I love these ribbon cuttings and the delivery of what we promised the voters of Tucson we would deliver. I do want to thank you, Assistant Chief Harris, for the gracious introduction. Congratulations, Chief Ryan, and to the Tucson Fire Department for these advances and being able to offer not just to the community that we serve and love, but to our workers, our firefighters, our medics, a good experience and treating them with respect and the dignity that they deserve, the investment that our workers deserve. So congratulations again for presiding over this, Chief Ryan. I am really happy that we are such great partners. I also want to acknowledge my colleague, Councilmember Dahl. I want to take a moment to thank him for his work and wanting to serve the community and the public. I also want to take just a brief moment to acknowledge that we're standing on the land that have been historically stewarded by the Tohono people and the Pasquayaqui people for thousands of years. I want to thank our Bond Oversight Commission members joining us today. Thank you to the Public Safety 2017 Public Safety Tax Oversight Commission. And finally, I want to thank Tucson voters, as Chief Harris said, for passing Proposition 101 back in 2017. Your votes made this possible, this investment that was absolutely necessary for the safety of our firefighters and medics and the safety of our residents. Yes. And finally, I'm very proud that voters trust the City of Tucson government. If they didn't trust City of Tucson government in its leadership, they would not have voted for Proposition 101. I think it was 68% of voters voted for Prop 101. And most recently, Proposition 411 was passed by 73% of Tucson residents. Historic investments in our community. So thank you all for making that happen. So Fire Station 8 is the second of 5 Tucson Fire Department stations that we are going to rebuild. It represents an $8.2 million investment. I think that's what it was, right? $8.2 million investment in Tucson's health and safety. Just look around this 14,000 square foot station and an additional $900,000 in Tucson Delivers funds for a new engine, a paramedic unit, thermal imaging cameras, an extrication equipment package, which is so important for the health of our firefighters, new turnout gear, and Zoll cardiac monitors. It is an investment, again, as I said before, in our firefighters and our first responders who deserve a space that is safe, healthy, and modernized for us to be able to deliver to our community. A world-class department deserves a world-class building. And this is also a reminder of what we can accomplish when we all work together. From our city manager, Mr. Ortega, to our council colleagues, to the mayor, to our chiefs, to the community, to our public safety oversight commission members that do this for absolutely, completely free. We appreciate all of the partnership and work put into this. And when Tucsonans vote on a proposition, they not only vote, they're not just casting a vote for investment, but they're also casting a vote for change. You're casting a vote for our workers, our public safety, our first responders, and the City of Tucson public servants. So on that note, I'm proud to share that Tucson Delivers funds will be used to rebuild 3 additional stations, Station 3, 10, and 14. And remodels and deferred maintenance at fire stations 7, 15, 16, and 18. Once again, thank you so much. I am proud of what we've accomplished together, and I am here to celebrate with you. I can't wait to get the tour, but it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our fearless leader, Chief Ryan.
Thank you, Mayor Romero. Good morning, everyone. I want to acknowledge, before I start my comments, which will be brief, the men and women that work at Station 8 and our retirees who are here today who have passed through these corridors in our prior place at 250 West King. So I was asked to speak a little bit about the history of Fire Station 8. This station originally opened in Tucson at 3325 North Stone as a product of annexation in the late 1950s. It was a leased single-family residence with a carport. And the cost to the city at that time, according to the Star, was $125 a month. Moved to 250 West King in 1968. That lot was purchased by the city with bond-approved money, voter-approved money, for $8,000. Some interesting twists about the people who've worked at Station 8. In November of 1965, Princess Margaret visited Tucson, and a firefighter from Station 8 who had a part-time gig as a limousine driver was selected to be the princess's driver around the city for her visit here. And this neat piece of history, the very first woman to be promoted to the rank of engineer in the Tucson Fire Department, Tricia Tracy, was assigned to Engine 8 and made her first run on this rig. So some new things about this station. The mayor spoke to the cost and the size. We have 4 apparatus bays here that you can see, which allow for growth to meet additional call load within this very busy part of the city core. There's decontamination rooms for the crews if they get particularly messy on a call, away from the living quarters in a separate space. There are gender-neutral bathrooms. We have what's called heart-healthy zone dispatching, which means that at night when the firefighters are asleep because they're here for 24 hours, when the tones go off to alert them to a call, it increases in intensity with the noise, so they wake up a little more gently than being startled out of bed with a klaxon, which was sort of the thing back in the day when I came in the fire service. A new training room, brand new workout area so that the apparatus for the workouts, the treadmills and the weights are not in the garage, basically. And all these things done to help our employees stay as safe and healthy as possible. It's an employee-focused and employee-friendly structure, which is super important to the American Fire Service. And we also have thrown a little bone of love to our our police service partners. There's a report writing room. You know, police officers, their office is their vehicle, and they're in those vehicles for hours and hours on end. So the ability to come into a fire station, have a place to take a comfort break, grab a cup of coffee or a glass of water, and a separate room to quietly do their reporting is provided for them as well. So it really is a public safety facility, not just a fire station. Chief Harris spoke to some connections he had with this station, and although my time here in Tucson has been short, I've only been here a little over 3 years now, Engine 8 will always have a special place in my heart. I was a lieutenant in a prior department, Fairfax County, Virginia, working on September 11th, 2001, and I responded as a very young company officer, a much younger man, to the Pentagon that morning. So Engine 8 always has a special place in my heart. And also, before I actually stood at council chambers and took the oath to become the city's fire chief, after I had come to terms and agreed with my friend, the city manager, Josh Campbell, Captain Josh Campbell, who worked at Station 8 previously, invited me. I was here in Tucson actually trying to scope out a place to live, and he invited me to the station to have some food and coffee with the crew and talk with them and get to know them. So Fire Station 8 at 250 West King was my first introduction to the Tucson Fire Department, and I'll always cherish that memory because, as those in the fire service know, and I'll tell you that those that aren't, every single problem in the free world is solved around the firehouse kitchen table, and we solved some that day. So. So I'm super, super proud of the entire team that brought this together. I know he doesn't want to be recognized, but I'm going to mention him. Deputy Chief Paul Moore, who oversees our Capital Projects Division, is the man behind the scenes who's done amazing work to help bring this together. Thank you, Paul. And I'll close again with thanking the men and women who passed through the halls of Old Station 8 answering calls for the city. And I want to thank the crew who patiently waited after Prop 101 passed to, this went through concept to construction to completion. And I applaud you for your patience, and I thank you for that. Thank you, everybody, for being here today.
Thank you, Chief. Our next speaker I'd like to introduce a longtime Station 8er as well, and our very own Captain Josh Campbell, President of the TFFA Local 479.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Man, what a firehouse. What a firehouse. I tell you, I have been so blessed to be a member of the Tucson Fire Department for over 25 years of my life. And my career as a Tucson firefighter started at 250 West King. And I'll tell you, for those of you, again, in the fire service and some that are not, what makes this job, and especially this station, so incredibly special is the people that you get to work with. I have met and worked with some of the most incredible men and women on this job, and when you work at a station like Station 8 that is busy and you spend 3/4 of your shift on the truck and not in the station, you get really close with the men and women you work with. I mean, really close, and you develop lifelong friendships and lifelong bonds. I looked in the back of the room this morning and I saw my first captain, Scott Krause. Scott, I owe you so much of who I am as a firefighter because of what you taught me on this truck. Love the job, love the calls, love what we do, and I've never seen a man so excited to get up and run a call than Scott. When the tones go off today, I guarantee you he's going to jump a little bit. But Scott, you've done such a great job, as everybody else going through this station has done, and you just bring incredible people here. So this station is, thank you. Yeah, very special place in my heart for this station and the men and women that work here. But let me share with you guys a moment I had. Not one of those moments, but this was a proud moment. We came in here on Halloween night, which was the first night this station was put in service. We're actually looking for fuel. We ran pretty low, not that low, Chief, but we were looking for fuel. So we came by here to say hi to the guys, see how the station was going. And I had a very serendipitous moment when I pulled up in front of this apparatus bay. And it took me back 7 or 8 years with Proposition 101 when we sat down and identified the need for firehouses, identified the need for our fire trucks. And it was the most collaborative effort in a campaign that I've ever been a part of. And I sat there and I looked at this station and I looked at the fruits of our labor, and I see this beautiful firehouse. And inside this firehouse, I see Fire Station 8. This was the first fire engine commissioned under Proposition 101 dollars. Next to it was a brand new paramedic truck, which was purchased by Proposition 101 dollars. Right next to that was a rescue truck. Turnouts all over the bay, new life-saving equipment. Everywhere we looked was the fruits of our labor, and it was a very serendipitous moment to know where we started, how this thing developed, and to see it come to fruition today. So I just want to thank all of our partners. Gosh dang it, it was a great run, and it's fun to see these things going, and I'm looking forward to the next 3 coming down the pike. And to the men and women that work here, this is for you guys. You guys have earned it. You deserve this station. And I'm just proud to have been part of the journey. So thank you again for having us. Thank you all for being here today. This is a special place and always will be for me. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Josh. We now have one of the original members of the Public Safety Tax Oversight Commission, appointed by then Ward 1 Council Member Romero. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry about that. I'm stealing thunder. I apologize. Judge Margarita BERNAL.
He stole my line because I constantly remind the mayor that she appointed me. It's a really quick appointment, no big deal. It's 5 years later, I was 6'1" and dark hair, and here I am. So I'm pleased to be on behalf of the commission here, and thank you. It's like being at Christmas. You guys are so excited because these things are all new and wonderful. Our illustrious commission chair, and Mike Silva's here from the TPD. He's one of our buddies and the committee. Our chair is principal of Elvira Elementary, and his priorities are good, but he misses the joy to see how excited you folks are. We are honored to be here. I'm here, as the chief said, that because Mr. Romero at that time thought, well, Margarita needs work. And then she's working on me right now saying, could you do the next commission? I'm like, wait a minute. So thank you, Chief Hare. Good morning. And we're part of the original 11 commission members, private citizens who just said yes to their council members because we care enough to vote for the tax, first pay the taxes, vote for the taxes, and then go to the meetings. And we are here, there's 8 of us, and there's 4 ex officio. And not that we grind people, but 2 people have retired. TPD Chief Kazmaier and Chief Galati both have retired during the commission, so it could be us, but I'm not sure. The mayor and council created the commission to monitor all the aspects since 2017, and we've met over 20 times through pandemic, without pandemic. We've met at fire stations, the public safety training, the fire logistics facility, the Tucson Police Department's evidence and property. We are talking exciting places. So I tell you, it is amazing to see what you public safety officers go through. And I just want to take a moment to thank you for your service. We always tease and say the most cynical people in the world are police officers, but they are so happy and thrilled. And I guess TFD is also that way too, a little cynical, but we're so proud to help you and serve you. I do want to thank the city manager, Mr. Ortega, and his staff. We ask the dumbest questions, but with a straight face, they're there and they're kind and we're careful, and we're sure there's no trips to Las Vegas included in the budget, so we're very careful. But I just want to tell you, we are honored and have been honored to serve. We hope it'll wind down, and Jeffrey just told me it's 2 more years for me, so I work hard for a work release soon. Thank you again. Congratulations to the commission and to all your work. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Sorry I stole your line there. Well, we promised to keep it brief. I think we've succeeded. Now for the fun part, the ceremonial ribbon cutting. I'd like to get all of our speakers up here, please.
The new stations that are being constructed for the city through Prop 101 funding mean multiple things. First off, for the community, more rapid, more efficient response. They're better placed, they're better equipped, so that's a big plus. For our firefighters and paramedics that serve in these stations, they have advancements that are consistent with the state of the art in the modern American fire service. We have our apparatus bays are kept, the contaminants are kept in here, so the diesel particulates and such, the way the ventilation systems are done, they don't get into the living quarters. The workout room. You go to many firehouses in many places and you will see treadmills and weight equipment in the apparatus bay, in the garage. Not healthy. Our new stations have all of the physical training equipment located inside in a well-ventilated space with plenty of room for the firefighters to do the fitness training they need to do. Also, our dormitories, individual dormitories with gender-neutral bathrooms, and makes us, as the City of Tucson, a much more attractive place to try and recruit, attract qualified, diverse applicants, more women to be firefighters. The national average is 3% or so of the workforce are women. I came from a place where it was 12%, and I'd like to get us a lot closer to that 12% mark, and this is just one way to do it.